Good morning. Welcome back for another week for us to continue talking about our mental health. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am so happy you guys are back. I want to thank all of you guys who continue listening to my video. I want to thank all of you guys who continue sharing, liking, comment on my video. And if this is the first time you get to this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay alert when I drop videos. So if this is your first time here, we always drop a video on Monday, and then throughout the week in social media we continue talking about the subject. So for this month, for the month of June of 2025, it's men mental health awareness month. So we are going to take this whole month to talk about men mental health. We're going to talk about men mental health, everything about men mental health. This is the month. I know this is a stigma. I know this is something men doesn't talk about, but we need to talk about it because men is human too, and then they do have mental health. So before we start our conversation today, I always ask you guys, what do you do last week to take care of your mental health? What did you do? What did you do last week to take care of your mental health? If you are in the United States, I know a lot of kids are out for the summer vacation. So this is really the time. It's crucial for parents and children to engage in therapeutic activity, to engage in self-care, to engage on activities to continue taking care of your mental health, because some of the kids are out of school, so they don't have the distraction they normally have. They don't have work they normally have because now they're home. Do not let the kids to just do staying home, staying in the bed, sleep late, wake up late, eat crazy, eat garbage, watch TV, play video game, and they don't do anything else to take care of their mental health. And you are just waiting, and you can't wait for them to go back to school. That should not be it for the summer. So what are you doing for your mental health for last week? What did you do? For me, last week, what I did is I went to the beach. I don't know, my mom and my dad always saying it's so good to go to the beach and let the seawater beat you up and then put some sand on you. And it's very therapeutic. It's very grounding. So that's what I did. I take the time to go to the beach. I'm fortunate enough for the beach to be close to me, but I hope you guys did something for the week to take care of your mental health. So let's continue with our conversation because I never want our video to be too long. So today, what I'm deciding to talk about today in this video, it's what I'm getting from a lot of men. So a lot of men DM me, comments, message me. They tell me to talk about the everyday life struggle that impacting mental health. So I want to bring some self-awareness, some education about certain things, everyday things that actually impacting men mental health that a lot of people doesn't think it's there. So I have a list because a lot of men sent me the list. So thank you for that. Thank you for all of you guys that participating and sending me DM, message, text, call, just so you can give me a list on what to talk about today. Before I talk about everyday things that impact men mental health, I also want to talk about some mental health condition that's specifically impacting men. Yes, there's no mental illness that doesn't impact men because men have a brain too. Men have mental health too. Men have emotion. They have heart. They have things that happen to them too. There's nothing, no mental health condition that doesn't happen to men. It's like you telling me, oh, it's only women that have heart attack. But there are specific things that happen to mostly men. Just like, again, there's specific things like menopause that happen to women, but it doesn't happen to men. So it's the same thing with mental health. And I'm just going to go over some of the lists. I didn't make a long list. I make the most important ones. So one of them is anxiety. I spoke before about anxiety. So you guys know anxiety, it's a persistent worry. When that person is worried all the time. So men worried about a lot of things. Men worried about their finance. Men worried about their family. Men worried about their work. Men worried about making money. Men worried about a lot of things. And sometimes those worries showed up for men like anger or paralyzed or fear. They're afraid to make the next step. Had to make decision, right? So the next mental illness that impacted men's mental health is depression, where they have, and I have a video on depression, but I just want to say what it is quickly. So where they have sadness, a persistent sadness that doesn't go away. 9% of men impacted by depression. And again, sometimes it can show up as like despair. They have this heavy despair, sometimes physical pain and aggression. That's how it can show up for men when they're dealing with depression. Another mental illness that impact a lot of men is substance use. So a lot of men abusing alcohol, smoking, drugs. So substance use is one of the mental illness. Another one, it's behavior addictions. And I say behavior addiction is those addiction that you always have to be doing, like work. You see that man is always working, pornography, sex, gaming, gambling, right? So behavior addiction. Another mental illness that impact men's mental health is ADHD. ADHD stands for attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So it's more common on men and boys than women. Another mental illness is PTSD. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. And I think the number is like 30 to 40%, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 to 30% of men who is in the military or who finish in the military experience with PTSD. But there is a small percentage of civilian men that also experience with PTSD, 3 to 5%. Another mental illness that impacts a lot of men, it's bipolar. So bipolar, it's unpredictable mood swing that come from extreme high to extreme low. So that person might be like very sad, very extreme, or happy, very extreme. Or that person might be hyper, very extreme, or very low. So it's extreme, those mood swing. A lot of men diagnosed or undiagnosed with bipolar. Another mental illness that we see a lot of men impacted by is personality disorder. There is 10 different type of personality disorder. 2 of them that a lot of men diagnosed with or not diagnosed with that we're seeing is the antisocial, narcissistic. I know now a lot of women is saying, oh yeah, I did a narcissism. It's become big now. But that's 2 of the personality disorder we see a lot of men showing sign. Another one, it's body image and eating disorder. So body dysphoria and eating disorder. We see a lot of men experience with that. And the way you can see some men doing that is like they're always at the gym. They're like obsessed of getting big muscles, or they're obsessed to getting a type of body image. A lot of men is obsesses or feel a type of way about their height, about their weight, about their age, about their hairline, going bald, not having a certain hair, or even body hair. There's men that like their body hair, and then some men doesn't like their body hair, and they're very obsessed with it. We're seeing a lot of men with eating disorder like anorexia or bulimia. Again, surprise, why? Because a lot of people doesn't think a lot of men having those issues. There's a lot of providers, like a lot of doctors that doesn't even check on men. When they see those men are obese or those men are underweight, they don't even think that it might be an eating disorder among men. But we are seeing a lot of that with men when we start asking the right questions with men. A lot of men been diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. So the obsessive compulsive disorder, again, this is not the video of different type of mental illness. I just want to talk about some of those mental illness that men affect by. So I'm doing a very small description. So obsessive compulsive disorder, the obsessive part is when you're having those intrusive thoughts. Like those thoughts cannot go away. They just come and come, and they pretty much obsessive. And then the compulsive is that if you don't do the behavior, you cannot stop thinking it. An example of that is if you are afraid of germs and you keep thinking about germs, and until you keep cleaning your house, you cannot stop not thinking about it. So that the obsessive compulsive disorder fall into anxiety. So that individual experiencing with a lot of anxiety because they all keep thinking about it, and they need to keep doing the activity for them to feel a little bit better. So those are some of the mental illness that we are seeing a lot in men, not including, I almost forgot, schizophrenia. So that's one of the other ones. So those are some of the mental illness that we are seeing a lot in men, and that's actually impacting men's mental health. So now let's move this video of the everyday life things that actually impacting men mental health. So the everyday life things that impacting men mental health, one of them is the traditional roles. And what I mean by the traditional roles is men grown up learning and saying, and even until this day now with the modern world, I'm hearing so much about it, that men is leaders. They need to lead, they need to provide, they need to protect, they need to work, they need to make a certain amount of money, they need to, this is their role, this is what they do. Men don't cry, like, you know, like those traditional roles that we've been putting on men. Or men doesn't need to spend times in the home. Men need to work more. You see, men is the one who's doing the construction. Men is the one who's going to war. Men is the one even Titanic, right? Female first. Men need to stay. Why? So those traditional roles are impacting our men's mental health. And the reason it's impacting our men's mental health is no one ever teach men those things. No one ever sit there and teach men how to lead. No one ever sit there and teach men how to protect. No one ever sit there and teach men how to provide. No one never teach men how to be the last. Like there's a lot of things that's not been teachable. Because even if you think about it from generation to generation, who has been raising men? The person who has been raising men is woman. And woman is not teaching men how to do none of those things. And there's those high expectation of men that we put, the society put, people, me, you, everybody put into men, but nobody is teaching men none of those things. I grown up in church, and I grown up hearing that after God, it's men, right? So that's a big role. If you think about it, after God, it's men. Men come after God, and it's the woman. So I don't know. I spent 3 years in a management role, and I kid you not, it's hard work. It's a lot of work, because you have people that you need to lead and control, that have their own feelings, that have their own thoughts, that have their own goal, and then you have to keep one goal of the family, and then you have to lead them. But nobody's teaching men to do that. I mean, you can think about it. I know for you, I grown up with men. I grown up with 3 brothers. I grown up with a bunch of uncles, a bunch of cousins. And when I stop and thinking and reflecting on what my brothers used to do at the home, it's pretty much nothing. Because my dad will go and working, and my mom will be, on us, the 2 girls, to clean the house, to cook, to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that, to do that. But my brothers, there's not much going on with them. There's not much they are talking to them about. There's not much they're teaching them. So those things are impacting men's mental health, because they don't know how to do it. What else is impacting men's mental health? Financial stress, the pressure of being stable, of having money, the pressure of you are the one who need to spend your money, the difficulty of work stress, how to balance family and working, because in the modern world now, men doesn't just go to work. The women want the men to help. They want the men to take them out. They want the men to be there. They want the men to talk to them. Because back in the day, it's almost felt a little easier for the men, because all they were there to do is go to work and just bring money. But now women want more, right? The kids want more. And quite frankly, men want more. Men want more to be just money. There's men, the only relationship they have with people, it's like, even with their wife, their children, it's like, Daddy, I want this. Daddy, can I get this money? Daddy, I want this money for my job. Daddy, I want this money to go shopping. Daddy, I want this money. Daddy, I want my car to be fixed. Baby, can you fix this? Baby, can you take care of this? Baby, this is broken in the house. Baby, can you paint this? Baby, can you? And then baby doesn't even know how to do none of that, because he never been taught it. Nobody teach him any of those things. Baby, my car broke down. Can you come fix it? Baby, my tire broke down. Can you come fix it? And a lot of men doesn't know of those things. So this is stress. Relationship problems with their spouse, relationship problems with their children, relationship problems. Men experiencing relationship problems too. Fatherhood, it's one of the things that's impacting mental health. Parenting role, it's one of the things that impacting mental health, because now men doesn't know what is their role as a parent. Men doesn't know, okay, after my wife gave birth, there's men I know in my clinic, when a wife just give birth and I'm checking in for postpartum, and then I check in the men too, they be shocked. When I ask them, what about you, Daddy? How are you adjusting with the baby in the home? They're like, what? They never change any diaper. Like, it's like they don't know what their role is in this house. They don't know what to do. Lack of purpose and meaning is impacting men's mental health. Physical health issues is impacting men's mental health. Men doesn't know how to communicate their feelings. They don't know how to be vulnerable. Men doesn't even have like safe place. Lack of self-care is impacting men. Lack of connection is impacting men. No safe place. Loneliness is impacting men. Family issues is impacting men. Fatherhood is impacting men. Parenting is impacting men. How to be a husband is impacting men. Peer pressure is impacting men. The modern world is impacting men. The whole movement of the LGBTQ2 plus is impacting men. Feminism is impacting men. New generation, like there's so many other things that's impacting men's mental health. Divorcing is impacting men. Illegal issues, custody battle is impacting men. So there's a lot of things that is impacting men and their mental health. This is where we're going to end our video for today. We always end our video with a dose of self-care. So we are going to see what today's dose of self-care say. Today's dose of self-care say, life may be tough, but so are you. Life may be tough, but so are you. I normally hear a lot of people saying like life is unfair, life is hard, life is tough. And I say, yes, life is unfair. Life is hard. And it's a but so are you. I believe, yes, we are tough. Like you can see, if you listen to my video, us as a human being, we're very complex. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of things to learn. And we are tough as a human being. There's a lot that we have, and it's really tough. So yes, so life is tough. Life is hard, but so are you. Thank you so much for listening to me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video for today. I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great week. And I will encourage you to continue thinking you as a man, those stress that I mentioned before, how can you manage them? What can you do for some self-care to help you with those everyday stress? Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.